Welcome to another episode of the Kids at Heart podcast. I'm Mike, and here we also have M, Joe, and our special guest, Chris, who we will introduce here in a minute. Thank you for joining us for another wonderful new episode.
What's going on, fellas? It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah, we gotta stop saying that, man. We gotta do this more often and just be like, hey, good to see you, man.
Yeah, eventually it's going to turn into,
right.
This is too often, guys.
Yeah. In fact,
My family's worried.
Yeah, I'm worried for myself. Hey, I miss you guys, man. You know, this is like my happy place.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like whenever we get into that groove on this is what I love about the podcast. We get into such a groove with some great conversations.
Awesome. And today we have Chris, one of our very good friends. Man, thank you so much for coming in for this show. Excited to have you to share a little bit, or maybe more than just a little bit, on 30 minutes missions. How are you doing, Chris?
Right on. I'm doing well, and thanks for having me. 30-minute missions isn't my expertise per se, but I do seem to have a little bit more of them than y'all do. So,
see, here I thought I had a problem with 30-minute missions until Chris, really got into 30-minute missions. And you can't say they're not really into it, because you've done multiple YouTube videos concerning 30-minute missions. Yes. So I'd say you're a bit more qualified and a bit into it a bit more than that. And that's saying a lot for me, because I love 30-minute missions.
Yeah, no, it's been a thing since I got into them, like you said, that you just kind of buy them up and you just kind of explore things with them. They're a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, man. Chris actually has a YouTube channel as well. I'm just gonna put the link in the description. So make sure you guys support his channel. He does a lot of review on not just 30 minutes missions, but Hexagear as well. Some of those Gurpla as well. Anything else that I'm missing?
Modeling support goods.
Yes.
Line.
Option parts and weapons for 30-minute missions. You've done a lot of great reviews on the option sets for the weapons and armor stuff and everything.
I try to cover whatever I can.
100%. We gotta support our man here for the brand.
Yep,
gotta brand.
Yeah, gotta support the brand.
All right, Chris. Since you're the expertise of the 30-minute missions, a part of our traditions is to have that little quiz. And
right.
I think you have something for us, something prepared for us. I think I'm ready, man.
So
I'm just gonna wing it.
All right. So it might be an obvious one, but I didn't know it for a long time. But the question for today is, what does the Roy stand for? Like, what does the name Roy mean?
Oh.
Dude, this is
no idea. No, you got me on that one.
I
no
think we
idea.
should try to come up with something random, just top of our head.
Okay, it's definitely an acronym, but it's only the first Roy that matters. So three words.
Okay.
I don't know what does the Y stand for though.
That's where I'm stuck on too, is the Y.
Yeah, because R could be like recon.
Yeah, reconnaissance, rover. Yeah.
What does O mean? Like
operational
operation, or like
recon operated yo-yo.
Oh, I think that's probably close. Like a remote I think remote operated is probably a good start. The Y, I'm gonna go with yo-yo because I can't think of anything else.
It's yo-yo.
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
I don't know, man. Chris, please enlighten
us.
Know? No, I think
it's
give up.
Research Observation Jaeger, of all things.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But Jaeger spelled incorrectly.
I was gonna say Jaeger spelled.
Yeah, obviously. That's supposed to be a J, man.
But someone at Bandai decided Jaeger was with a Y.
Jaeger with the Y. In fact, I've got I think some of the listeners or viewers, they might not know what's a Roy. I've got a Roy here. There's a little one.
That's the little guy.
Yes, and for those who don't really quite know, it's their little robot companions, little quadruped robot companions that come with a lot of the earlier 30-minute missions, like the first run, and then most recently with those, the forestry came with them, and then some option packs have new Roys.
They're so cute. Love it.
Right on. Good guesses, guys.
Okay, good job, everyone.
Yo,
Good
yo.
job, everybody. All right, so 30 minutes missions. Bandai, very affordable, very fun to build. Let's talk about what are some of the things that we like about the 30 minutes missions kit, and obviously they've got the 30-minute sisters as well. I'm not sure if we have enough time to cover that today, but we're just gonna focus on the 30 minutes missions. 144th scale, right? What's the scale?
That's right.
They well, it's not necessarily 144, but they scale well with 144 Gunpla, so that's what a lot of people will refer to them as.
Yeah. So I think among the four of us, Chris and Mike, y'all have probably built a whole lot of these kits. Not sure about Joe. How many have you built, man?
One. I built one to give it a try. And it was before I moved last year, so it's been over a year, and I couldn't find it today.
Which one was it?
So it's sort of a heavier looking unit. It had like tank treads on the back. It's kind of bazooka thing, kind of a sand colored.
Yeah, that's the Alto ground type.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Took me more than 30 minutes, but that's because I like to take more than 30 minutes. But it was like an hour and a half, right? So it wasn't like it took me like 3 weeks, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I just haven't really. It's space, right?
Yeah, of course. But Joe,
you got to prioritize what's going to be bought during the hobby. It's expensive enough as it is without adding new stuff in there.
That is true. But Joe, I think this is gonna be another episode where Mike is gonna and Joe and Chris is gonna try to influence you to get
probably
another one.
Probably
You're gonna get pressure.
Yeah, by the end of it, I'll be on AliExpress buying stuff. It'll happen.
Peer pressure.
Just look at these kids; they're so amazing,
know, right?
man. Yeah,
it really is. It was a lot of fun, but I just just have to prioritize. I like to try some stuff though, and see what it's like, so you can be able to say like, oh yeah, I can see that. Like I love seeing the stuff that people do, like the custom stuff on Twitter. Like that, every time I look at that, I'm like, no, I can't. Like,
it's astounding.
Oh, it's incredible because they are quite modular, quite compatible with each other. Kind of very similar to Hexagear, being like you can really create your own thing out of it, and they've got all those option kits, and like it's bananas. It's a good thing I don't delve into it too much myself right now, because it could be a deep rabbit hole, I think.
It really can, because the kits are so affordable, the option packs are so affordable, but it's like going to a dim sum. You're doing it a la carte, and it can add up by the end. It may be like, oh, that's cheap, I'll get one of those. We'll get 2 of those, that's cheap too. But by the end, you're gonna be paying like a lot, depending on how you, especially if you're trying to make a custom kind of build. But affordability, I think that's one of the big things that's there, and availability. Most of the times you're going to find these kits like around, like the basic ones, like the Alto and Porta Nova, like the earlier ones, they're going to be, what would you say, Chris, between like $12, $15 or so?
Right. Yeah, you can find a lot of the Alto and Porta Nova in particular for around $12 to $15. They've been climbing up in prices, but the original ones are still right there at a $12 to $15. So it's a lot cheaper than what a high grade, a Hexagear, something like that would be.
Right. Yeah, for sure. What about the newer ones, like the Knight, or the Spinachios? Like, are they about like close to 20?
The Maxion forces, which is like the Spinachios and Spinachias, those will tend to climb up in price a little bit more, but then they tend to come with more stuff too.
Right. It's like you're buying one of them plus one of the option packs. So it's right around $22 to $25.
Yeah.
And I think the Spinachios are like the Maxion forces with the Spinaccio and Spinacci are really cool because a lot of people, kind of compared 30-minute missions to frame arms, like Kotobuki has frame arms when they first came out, but it really quite isn't comparable until you brought in the Spinaccios, because all the Spinaccios have like a core body that's built the same with armor pieces stuck on them. So it's very much like frame arms. But I would say like this is like a really cool combination of like frame arms and hexagear, because whenever I build anything else, it's always like, where are the hard points? Why is there a lack of hard points? And you realize that those kind of modular systems, they're just, they just got a bunch of them because there's so many options with them. And you don't realize what you're missing with that until you build something that doesn't have hard points. I mean, aesthetically it may look good, but I think functionality wise, you miss out on the customization, or it makes the customization a little bit harder. As a model maker, we can make anything fit with glue and like enough, carving of like plastic. But I mean, they just make it so easy, really easy with the modular, nature of it.
Yeah.
Lots of easy compatibility with themselves. And with other brands too. I mean, the 3mm ports, that was an excellent idea for Bandai to connect with something that was already out.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's funny, man. You look at other like high grade kits that aren't part of like the Build Fighter series, and like I said, it's like, where are the hard points?
The size of them as well is a really good point for them, because you can put a whole bunch of them on the shelf.
Yeah.
They're pretty small, so you can have a bunch of them. They're not as small as the Hexagear Governors, where I have a whole bunch of them in a bin back here, but they're pretty small and compact, and that fast build thing, I think, is another thing that I love about them. You can build 10 of them in a day if you really were at it.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's affordable. You can get it done within an hour and a half to 2 hours. I am not sure if any of you have tried to make it like 30 minutes missions. I think that's a lie, man. I can never get it done 30 minutes mission.
I wouldn't say it's a lie, but the thing is if you don't care about nub marks, you could easily snip them and slap it together within 30 minutes. But if you're taking the care of cleaning up all the nub marks, doing any kind of panel lining, doing any kind of detail painting, of course it's going to take a lot longer than 30 minutes. I think an hour and a half for me sounds about like the shortest. Like if
that's average.
Yeah.
What about Chris? Have you tried doing it under 30 minutes missions?
Yeah, I have. I did a couple of the smaller ones. I did an Alto in 22 minutes, which I thought that was pretty slow. Yeah, I was like, man, I could probably shave off another 2 minutes if I did it faster. But realistically, you guys are right. About an hour and a half is right where you should be.
What do you think is the best kit, like in your opinion? What's like your favorite 30 minutes missions kit in terms of the looks and the build experience?
Let's let Chris go first.
I was gonna say I'll start. So since they came out with them, where am I? So since they came out with them, the Maxion forces have been my favorite. My personal favorite is the army type. I think that one's really cool. I think the extra armor on him makes him look really cool.
The dude is pretty badass.
He's got that.
Come on, Joe. Where's yours?
He's got that bulk, but still that humanoid experience. He really looks like he fits the role of army type.
That looks cool.
Yeah, I love that one because it's got like a Master Chief Halo kind of look to it.
Yeah, he totally does.
Really dang cool.
Yeah,
Joe's
me
like,
too.
Where is mine?
Yeah, where is mine?
I don't even have the one that I built.
It's
He's
okay.
Probably just buried in like a weird box. Like it's probably not all that weird, but I couldn't find it today. But I moved a whole bunch of stuff around because we're trying to rearrange some things in here, and it took me forever to find like some lights, and it was literally sitting like over here and it just had a couple like transformers sitting on top of it, and that camouflaged it completely. So it's probably like I could probably reach into a box and find it now, but I couldn't earlier, and I was like, well, that's probably a good thing. I'll just have to buy some more.
Yeah, man, we're
Problem
gonna do
solved.
it right after this. You're just gonna
All right, here we
go
go.
on Ali again.
Up there.
No,
He's
no,
got
no.
the phone.
Can't do it. Not right now. We'll see by the end of it, probably.
What about you, Em? What's your favorite?
You know, I actually noticed a little I guess a difference in the material in the plastic. So it's been a while since I built a 30 minutes missions, and I remember I just got a bunch of them. Like I think the first four, man, I can't remember the name. Alto, Portanova, Rabio. What's the other one? There's one more.
DL Nova.
CL Nova?
Yeah, yeah, those four. They came with decals and Roy. But the other day, so I pick up the Spinacio army type. So I like the plastic. They're pretty good, and I like how it comes with the armor as well. And it reminds me of the puppets, you know. I was like, oh, you know, you
Yeah.
can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have it either the core body or with the armor. But you know, I also noticed that they don't come with the decals anymore, and
Right.
not all of them have the Roy. But you know, other than that, I actually kind of like the Spinacio army. And yesterday I was building this what do you call this? The forestry? Is that what you call it?
Forestieri.
Yeah. And you know, I was just kind of surprised that it's a little bit shorter than, you know, like you guys can see over here. But it's fun, you know, it's really fun. I feel like for me, 30 minutes mission is one of those kits where, you know, you want to build something, but you don't want to take like too much, like you don't have that much time, you know, and you just want to feel that like satisfaction because you're done with something. So yeah, after a long day, you know, I'm just gonna like wind down and just build a 30 minutes missions, and it's done, and I'm happy, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's fun. It's good for the soul, man. Yeah, it's Spinacio army
Completely
type.
agree. Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree because I feel like with that quick, satisfying kind of, you know, build, they're almost like the sorbet of of model kits,
Yeah.
a palate
Yeah.
cleanser for you between servings. So like if you want to build like
word
that's
I
how
use
I
a lot.
get. It's like I'll build something big and then I'll be like, I'm gonna build a 30 minutes missions kit to kind of like as a palate cleanser, something quick, fun, easy, and then I end up building 12 of them. So that's just ends up how it goes every time.
You know, it's definitely a palate cleanser for me. You know, we built the girl kits, which are pretty complicated. Sometimes they have a lot of armor and stuff like that. You have to go step 1, step 2, step 3, and then they'll take them all the parts off, and you start over again to get a step 4. So when you do a 30-minute missions kit, it's like, you know, an hour of just that thing, and you're done. And then, hey, you know, I got some option parts. Let's see what those look like. Play with those for a little bit. And then you're ready for another build. It's not like or not a build, but like after a hard day of work, you know, it's like you finished something today. You got it done. It's great.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I feel like they're really rewarding. They got really cool shelf presence. And I got to say that, yes, I have noticed a huge difference between, say, like going from the Alto and Portanova, like you said, M, to the Spinacios, because I find that after a little while, the joint parts, what are they called?
The C clips, the C gates.
Yeah, the C gates and a lot of other stuff gets like really loose on those. And I find like after a while they get really floppy, like you know, the Alto and the Portanova, they tend to get floppy. Not unlike some like, you know, 144 scale, you know, Gundam kits. But I find that the Spinacios like tend to hold up like a lot better. Maybe they have a different plastic type that they've upgraded to or something like that, or maybe something different in the engineering. But I don't know. Every Spinacio, maybe for the exception of the first one I built, which was the Ninja, and it got pretty floppy pretty quickly. But like say like the Knight, which would qualify as my favorite 30 minutes missions kit. It's very sturdy, and I have had no problems with him getting floppy or anything anywhere. And this is a very easy candidate for me for favorite 30 minutes missions kit. Mainly, and I've said it multiple times on the Discord, it gives me a very strong Dark Souls vibe to it, and I love that. Anything with a Dark Souls aesthetic, because I'm a huge fan of all those games. So I think that's the big appealing thing for me. And it looks fantastic. It doesn't just look like, oh, it's a robot that's like night themed. No, it looks like, you could have it, posed as like a night kind of character in a picture, and it would look good.
Right. It definitely looks like it's a mech that is a knight instead of a mech with knight parts on.
Right.
It kind of reminds me of Hexagear. What's it called? The Knights. The Spartan.
Oh, yeah.
Knight.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Definitely feels like the Nero, the Judge. I think it's Judge now.
Yeah.
The Nero, the Bianco, too.
Yeah. But
it gave me a little bit of vibes of like the VThor in the way that, just the bodily shape of it,
Yeah, man, I'm still trying to get a hold of it. It's like they're sold out like so quickly in Malaysia, and I have to get them online, man. So
yeah, that one's hard to get a hold of right now.
Is it one of the best selling kits?
I couldn't tell you numbers.
Between that one and the Reaper, it looks like I haven't seen it in stock anywhere since the
it
first
sells
time
out quickly. And I'll say that's kind of a con also when it comes to 30-minute missions, is that when they first come out, people they'll announce them like, half a year to a year ahead of time, and then people are hyped up for them. So they tend to sell out pretty quickly when they first come out. But then by the time reprints come out, the hype has died down and it's a lot easier. So you got to like wait for like the second, sometimes with some of them, the third wave before they get readily available. And once they're readily available, then it feels like at a certain point, especially during the pandemic, they were flying off the shelves and it was hard to get a hold of them. I would say like around the time when like the CL Nova, the space type, Porta Nova space type, and the aquatic type, those were kind of hard to get when they first came out because they're really cool looking. So and they're not that expensive. But I think they kind of like, evened out a bit around the time when the Rabiot came out, which is like, I would say is my second favorite. I love Rabiot. Another one that I feel like looks like very Space Marine-ish kind of look, But I find that, yeah, once you get past that initial hype, Bandai, either catches up with the printing or they just stop, like they start stocking up in stores, and you can't go anywhere without falling over a 30 minutes mission available on a website.
Yeah, that's true. For me, I'm not so sure if there's any con on my site, because I don't really look into it. But I think sometimes there are a lot of options, so maybe that can kind of be a con to it. It's like, oh man, like you're not so sure like where to start, like what do you get? There's just so many different things out there, what about you, Chris? Do you think there's anything that you would like to add on to that?
The only cons I can think of are, like Mike said before, is those the floppy joints. Some of them do get sloppy after a while, especially the ones with the harder plastic, like the Porta Nova and Alto. The CL Nova really suffered from it because it has really big legs and it only uses C clips on its knees, so that one had issues there. And that would be the only con I can think of with these kits. The plastic, everything else, it's mostly great. I just think it's the C clip, the C gate attachments are their weak point.
I would say tread with caution because they're addicting. You build one, especially if you build one that you really like, you're going to find, it reminds me of like when I first got into Gunpla. HG kits aren't that expensive, and I just found myself buying like a bunch of them online, and then that's when the backlog starts. But I thought, oh, these kits are so quick, like with 30 minutes missions, that I'll be able to build them quickly. No, they pile up. So just a word of warning: they're fun, and they're inexpensive, and they're completely addicting.
100%.
Yeah, I
guys-
would definitely second that one for a problem. They are very fun and like, hey, you know, this is $15. I can buy 3 of them for the same price as a master grade or something like that. So you're like, let's just grab them all. And then like I pointed out here, I have a backlog here just of 30-minute missions, and these are ones that I love to build, and you can build them like I said 10 at a time, and it's no problem. But they do build
Yeah.
up fast.
Yeah. So let's say if you like a particular model, okay, maybe like a Rabio, do you prefer to get like a different color of the same model, or you prefer to get like same color? You know, it's almost like building a squad. Like, I can see myself getting like, you know, 5 Spinacio army type, and they all look the same color, and it looks good, you know, when you try to take picture.
Right.
So what do you guys do usually?
Personally, I like to do the army collecting. I have 8 of these little guys so far. These are the little
Man, the 8.
little extra vehicles here. The
Yeah.
little egg boy. I have 8 of those, and I have 6 of the Spinadio army type and
Oh,
2
man.
commanders for the Spinadia. So yeah, I do tend to collect a lot of the ones I like.
Yeah. What about Joe
Yeah,
or Mike?
With the Spinacios, they tend to, you know, they only come with one color, thankfully. Because when it came to the Rabiot, which was my favorite until I built the Spinacio Knight, I bought one of each of the colors, and I built all but 2 of them. I think the orange one and the white one, but like the rest of them were like my squad, and I was like decking them out with the weaponry from the Rabiot option weapon pack, and so like each of them looked like they were like a specialist. Like one of them had like dual chainsaw rifles, another one had like dual, you know, like short shotguns, another one had like a huge cannon, and you know, so I loved it. I thought the different colors were really great themes for like a different specialty in the squad. But I can also see the appeal of getting all the same color and having it like a cohesive, you know, like one, you know, uniform look to
Unit.
the squad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's kind of like, you know, how Power Rangers, you have different colors, but they're kind of like the same, you know? You can have that one squad, or you can have
Mhm.
like a whole unit, you know?
So
What are you gonna do, Joe? Are you gonna build an army, or are you gonna build the special squads?
I tend to go army building.
Yeah.
these are really
Right on.
easy to army build.
Yeah, it's probably
That's
why I
cool,
should
that's
avoid
cool.
it for now. We'll see.
For now, for now. We're gonna try again another time on Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I think we can probably talk about 30 minutes sisters another time for part
Yeah.
2. I think
Yeah,
we can
part
get
2.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Part
I
2.
interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say we can you know, get on part 2 and get Chris back for another time, man. You know, it's fun. You know, I always enjoy doing this, and man, I'm so excited. It's for this video.
I can talk
Anything
about
else?
30-minute
Guys
missions
back.
all day. All day I can talk about this stuff.
We're gonna get Joe some of these. Just send him. We're gonna send him a kit. You know.
I'll send him some of my extras that I haven't built that are piling up in the back or something.
Let's do it.
No,
let's do
don't
it.
do it. I don't have any room. They take up too much space on the shelf.
Sure.
No. They're little. Remember, they're little.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but you know, they're
Okay. All right.
Anyway.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching, for supporting the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Chris,
Oh.
Joe, and Mike.
Before you go, don't forget the stickers.
Yes, we've got our stickers, and we have less than a minute yet. But yes, we can get some stickers. Link in the description, and yeah, I think that's it, guys. Bye, you guys.
Au revoir.
Have fun.